Welcome back to Torment. Okay, so I thought about this and I figured I should go back to the Reef of Fallen Worlds and see if I can get a piece of the Resonance Chamber and also visit the Lazaret. But before I do that, I should do something that's a little overdue by now and talk to my companions. What's your story, Kalistesh? Oh, you know, this and that. Lady raised in high society becomes renowned intellectual. Goes on to humiliate her peers, etc. She glances at you, as if gauging your interest. Of course, I am exceptional. But my story is less so. It would bore you to tears, no doubt. Where did you grow up? Why, here. She holds out her hands and completes a graceful turn. The walls of Sagas were my cage until, like a bird, I took flight. Figuratively, you understand. I speak of knowledge, not mere physical movement. I grew beyond the grand library in short order and was soon writing text for it myself. The library holds no answers to the questions I asked of it. What is it you hope to accomplish by traveling with me? So direct. I shan't be coy either then. Your sire, the changing god, was a nano of surpassing ability. Your search for answers is likely to cross his trail at multiple points. He must have researched the datasphere at some point, and I hope to study his work to address my own particular situation. She waves her hands across her body. I am what you might imprecisely call a nascent cross-dimensional hive mind. What I must decide now is whether to continue this experiment. My sisters, you see, they are a blessing and a curse. One moment, she addresses them. Hush, you know it's true. I've thought it, so therefore you thought it. We have no secrets from one another. She smiles thinly. You see, even in my thoughts we are not alone. We seek, let us call it, closure of some sort, of our association, or of our individuality. Uncovering your sire's knowledge of the datasphere could likely determine my direction. If we cannot find a suitable home in the datasphere, we may have to terminate this process, but that presents pitfalls of its own. Who are all these echoes of you? They are me. We are part of each other, sisters across infinite realities. We share our experiences and power. What's that old saying? That experience brings wisdom? I must be the wisest person in Sagas Cliffs. The wisest across countless worlds. The laughter peals out. Okay, tell me about the datasphere. She smiles gently. Such curiosity. Very well. Let me indulge you. She clears the throat. Some prior world or worlds seeded the atmosphere and near space with a vast network of computational and informational devices. I believe the ancients used this network to communicate with each other at great distances, and perhaps across space and dimensions. It is this latter application that especially interests me, as you might imagine. If I can find a structure within that space that enables a more direct mind-to-mind communication, that'll allow a true joining of my sisters. Well, I should be happy to transcend this flesh, though it has served me well. But is such a thing possible, or even advisable? These are questions I have not found the answers to yet, if such answers even exist. How did you meet Alexander? I suppose there's no harm in indulging you, she muses. You've shown yourself competent in many endeavors, and this should be no different. She arranges one sleeve diffidently. Algernon and I met when he came to the Order of Truth, seeking help. Naturally, I was intrigued by his predicament, more so than the man. She smiles, but absently. He had lost his family, you see, and sought their return. He had brought with him an odd frame of unknown origin, and that was the central to his tale. The stuffed shirts at the Order were more interested in picking apart Alger's story than they were in examining the frame he had brought with him. The task fell to me, so I undertook it. For that, Alger became enchanted with me. Eventually, we became lovers. He was pleasant enough in bed, I suppose, though he lacked any real enthusiasm. And the crying. She rolls her eyes, arm thrown dramatically across her forehead. This pitiful, childlike snuffling when he thought I was asleep. She shakes her head in disbelief. His family was gone. There was no more he could tell me, and I had learned nothing worth telling him. You saw that. I moved on. Why were you and Alger together if your relationship was so poor? Guilt, she says. For him, at least. He desperately wanted to save someone. For me, it was a matter of necessity. She sighs and shakes her head. It was my own research that led me to this state. But despite access to 1,000 worlds, I was no closer to achieving my goal, and my sisters were ever closer to plotting my annihilation. She laughs. You see, in an effort to extend my own life, I chanced upon versions of myself that would end it. It's true. Some of my echoes seem to become the sole survivors, or to rule over the rest. And so I sought a way to return to my base state, if you will, a way to control my future. I had found some notes of your sires, notes that hinted at a machine capable of merging multiple selves, of concatenating various minds into a single identity. Naturally, it seemed a welcome solution to my predicament, but his clues as to its location were useless to the utmost degree. Alger had met the man once. It was more than I had to go on, and I was feeling less than patient. She waves a hand wearily. From there, you know the rest. Did you say some of your other selves want to kill you? Why? She's silent for several long moments. I don't know, she admits. I have tried to reason with them, but they are beyond it, or at least immune to it. They blame me for opening all our minds to each other, but had it not been me, another version of me would have. She laughs. In fact, it was a host of me that did. I'm not alone in this. Across countless realities, we came together simultaneously. She closes her eyes briefly. I wonder, sometimes. She looks to you, as if searching for an answer. Would it have been better to be one of the other Calistesias? To have no choice in the matter but to be connected, without my prior knowledge or consent? To have my memories, my secrets, buried in 1,000 other realities, knowing they could never be used against me, but aware all the same that they were known? She passes a weary hand in front of her eyes. So I understand those of myself who reject this change. I do. I no more chose to share myself with them than they chose to share with me. But that does not mean I long for their destruction, nor truly think it would have any great impact on my life here. And that is where we differ. The one point on which, perhaps, we shall always disagree. Fortunately, a great many others see the matter from my perspective. What can you tell me about the Order of Truth? It's a place of science, of inquiry, of searching for a way to shake the chains of this world that this world has bound us with, and maybe someday even cut them. Every person there has the spirit of an adventure, and some, she continues in an offhand manner, like our erstwhile companion Alger, simply don't have the wherewithal to voyage to the depths required by intelligent human endeavor. Can you tell me about the cult of the changing God? Grudgingly, I must admit they seem to have the required answers. I would not have thought they would be so helpful, frankly. What do you think we should do about the stigma? Whatever you like, she glances aside, as if bored. Burn them out, convince them to leave, or simply turn the city against them. Those who built to last have nothing to fear. In that, you'll find history holds quite a few parallels of its own. Can you tell me about Coral? He's a knave and a blackguard, and clever when it comes to Numenera. Nothing close to myself, of course. Where we are right now, she takes a quick look around as if sizing up your surroundings. He's tried to kill us, hasn't he? She shakes her head. He's a dangerous fool, and we're well to be rid of him. How are you holding up? You have your charms. There are a fair few more than most. I suppose I could say I enjoy your company, but we're beyond such trivial panderings, of course.
Why not?
What's going on?
What's your story, Ren? Her brow furrows and she clutches her elbow with one hand. You know some of it, maybe as much as I do. What do you want to know? Where are you from? Her expression grows distant. It's a better place than this. It's safe and warm, and it's a long, long way from here. For a moment it seems like she's lost in thought. Then she starts talking again. There are a lot of trees there. It's full of growing things. And a little village with a tall wall to keep bad things away. And I have parents there. She shakes her head a bit, and turns back to focus on you. That's where I belong. That's my home. I have parents there. I am not an orphan. It sounds like a lovely town. What's it called? She smiles and opens her mouth to answer. A panicked expression flashes across her face for a moment. Her eyes dart back and forth before she puts one hand to her injured head. It's Barinth. She looks up, her tiny face grave. Yes, it's called Barinth. My village, my home. That's where my parents are. If you're from so far away, why do you speak the same language as everyone here? She tips her head to the side thoughtfully. I don't know. I guess it could also wonder why you all speak my language. How did you get to Sagas Cliffs? She shakes her head, tears springing up in front of her. I can't remember. I remember running and the fire, but it wasn't the right color for a fire. I don't know. Rin looks around, her eyes lost. Then I just remember being here. Nothing makes any sense. Those thugs you were hiding from, they seemed to know you were in the building, but they couldn't find you. Why? She grins, and her sudden smile is like the sun coming out from behind a cloud. We're good at hiding, she says. Did you say we are good at hiding? A flash of panic crosses her face. Me, she says, too quickly. Then she sighs and pulls something from her pocket. It's a small dark stone with a hole in it. She's outside your arm's reach, but she still holds it close to her chest, protectively. This is Owl. He keeps me safe. He knows everything of hiding. As she speaks, you realize something you hadn't noticed before. You aren't getting any thoughts from her, at all. It doesn't feel like you're being blocked though, which is perhaps why you didn't notice it until now. Either her thoughts are hidden somehow, or she just doesn't have any. You can read on the surface. Why can't I read your mind? She takes 2 steps away from you. You can read minds. You're trying to read my mind. Not exactly. I hear people's surface thoughts sometimes, but not yours. It's like you don't have any. Why would you be doing that to me? It's not something I choose to do. You hear people's voices whether you want to or not. For me, their thoughts are the same. Her eyebrows rise. Oh, I didn't realize. It's still pretty invasive. I wish you didn't have to hear it. Sometimes I don't like it, but it also helps me to understand people. She shakes her head. Well, it's not a good thing. You have to know that. It's like eavesdropping, but it's worse than that because it's more private than a regular conversation. What happens in your head is just for you. It's a conversation a person is having with just themselves. Nothing is more private than that. She hesitates, then continues in a soft voice. When a god is strong enough to see into someone's mind, it's a sign that God might be too dangerous. It's a bad... She breaks off suddenly, then reaches into her pocket and pulls out the stone. She stares at it with the slight vacant expression she gets sometimes, then speaks directly to the stone. I haven't been keeping it from you, Al. There's a lot of things I never told you. It's something I've never... Another pause, and her face grows increasingly concerned. Everyone knows, Al. Sometimes a god goes bad. When that happens, she breaks off, head cocked slightly to one side, her face growing concerned. Well, she says, if a god could move by itself, that's a big one. If it argues constantly with other gods or refuses to talk at all, those are signs that... She stops again, listening. Then you're supposed to take it to the... I can't remember their name. The God Fixers. Rin rubs her forehead with her free hand. I can't remember what they're called. She looks up, her face worried. Oh, I'm sorry. We can talk about this later, Al. We're being rude. She puts the stone back into her pocket and blinks a little as if to clear her head. I don't know why you can't get into my head. Maybe kids' brains are different. Or maybe just my brain. Or maybe that sort of thing doesn't work on people where I'm from. I really don't know. Well, if I can't hear someone's thoughts, I'm glad it's a person I can trust anyway. She looks uncomfortable, but she nods in agreement. How long have you been away? She scratches her neck thoughtfully. Only a few weeks, I think. She touches the side of her head lightly with her fingertips. It's hard to remember. When I got hurt, I don't remember the time around then very well. Can I ask you a few questions about your friend? She brings the stone up to her ear and cocks her head a bit. Then she looks up at you and gives a slightly anxious nod. All right, he's fine with a few questions. A few. How did you meet your rock? She puts all back into her pocket. It's not a rock. It's a stone. Fine. You're talking to a stone then. She shakes her head. No, I'm talking to Al. He isn't a stone. He's a god. He lives inside the stone. So the stone is like his body, or is it like his house? She smiles. It's a little like both. It's easier for him to leave than a body, but harder to leave than a house. But either way, the stone isn't really him. It's a little like a cup, too. Rin looks up at you, hopefully. Does that make sense? I think I get it. It's like how a cup holds water. The water is shaped like the cup, but the water isn't the same as the cup. Her face lights up in excitement. That's it exactly. The water might even taste a little like the cup, if the cup is made of tin. Or it might even taste a little like whatever was in the cup before. But you can pour it somewhere else and it's still the same water. She hesitates and adds, almost the same water. Mostly the same. Has Al always been in this stone? She nods. He's a very young god. Older gods have usually lived in many bodies. How old is Al? She grins proudly. Only a couple weeks old. So strong for her. She breaks off and looks down at her hand. No need to be embarrassed. She looks up at you and grins again. Then she says in a strange whisper, He's embarrassed. But does it mean that he's a god? Rin grimaces. That is a hard question. Where I come from, there are many gods. Gods of health and hearth and home. Gods of road and Rome. Where I come from, it's a poor family that has no gods of their own. She looks down at the stone in her hand, speaking softly. But here, there are no gods. It's like finding a place where people don't know what meat is, or air. How do you explain something like that? And I haven't seen a single god except for all himself. And he is mine. He simply is. He is my friend. Rin trails off, looking down at the stone in her hand. Did you bring all with you from your home? She shakes her head, her eyes far away. No, She breaks off suddenly, hand tightening around her stone. Then starts again. Well, yes, I suppose I did bring him with me. I found him near a stream. I've been carrying him around in my pocket for years. He said, I don't want to upset her right now. Where you come from, does everyone have gods they just carry around with them? She shakes her head. No, usually the gods stay in a family's home. They give advice. They help with things. Must be comforting having something from home with you. She nods, absently running her thumb over the smooth surface of the stone. You said All was a couple of weeks old, but that you've had him for years. Which is it? She opens her mouth, then closes it again. She's quiet for a moment, then says, All doesn't want me to talk about this anymore. I just want to make sure you're all right, Rin. Her laugh has no humor in it. Of course I'm all right. Why wouldn't I be all right? I'm far from home. I have stitches where hair should be, and everyone thinks I'm crazy. Even that man who's scared on his own. What do you call it? Levy? Even he thought I was crazy. She puts a hand to her head wound and squeezes her eyes shut. I don't want to ask this, but I don't want to not ask it either. She opens her eyes and looks at you innocently. Do you think I'm wrong in the head? I think you've gone through a really hard time, Rin. Sometimes our minds play tricks on us. So you do think there's something wrong with me? No, that's not what I meant. I'm only trying to make sense of what happened to you. She wraps her arms around herself and shivers in the warm air. Me too, she mutters. What kind of things do gods help with? She looks thoughtful. Well, gods, you see, they're old, so they know a lot of things, because they've been around for a long time. And they'll tell you what they know sometimes, give you advice. Sometimes they just listen if you need to talk. Sometimes that's all you really need. You said he was a god of hiding. Is that more than advice? She nods, and without noticing, she lifts up the hand with the stone in it so that she's holding it close to her heart. Some gods can help you with more than words. All knows everything of hiding, of being small and silent. He helps me hide. He makes it so no one can find me. He keeps me safe. Alright. Thank you, Rin. You catch Eric just staring at the sky with a distant look in his eyes. His strangely pale skin is nearly bronze and the golden glow surrounding him. Well, I doubt he's looking up at the sky since we're underground, but whatever.
I should climb a building. No, a tower. And jump off the top. Should it be on fire? Yes. Yes and yes.
Yes, yes, and yes. The hero is losing focus. Who cares? Are you actually thinking of setting buildings on fire? No, he says shocked. Not today, anyway. We have things to do. That distant look resurfaces, along with a need so deep it approaches hunger. I'm just planning ahead, for if things get... He grimaces, as if the word he's trying to say pains him. Boring? Yes, he shudders. I have to be moving. Boring seconds turn into boring minutes. Then entire hours where nothing happens. And then, you're dead of old age, he says, wiping away tears. But you aren't here to talk about me, he says, then blinks. Or are you? So, how are things between us? Great, he declares, throwing his hands in the air. I knew we had the same instincts for adventure. Ertis blinks. I have some questions about you. I'm not surprised, he says, pleased. I'm incredibly interesting. What do you want to know? I keep hearing voices in your head telling you what to do. A loud one and a quiet one. The glow abruptly fades from Ertis. He looks older, plainer, exhausted beyond endurance. What? No, come back. He will wake up. He hears us. We told you. Then the golden light returns, a savage explosion of radiance and heat, driving you back a step. Ertis regards you calmly from within the pulsing nova. He's so beautiful that it's hard to look at him. I have no idea what you're talking about. A clever evasion. Now convince him he's not interested in this. Let's talk about something else now. You aren't interested in this. His voice is dull and dreamy. His eyes wander about your face without seeing you. Then the glow recedes like a retreating wave, and Ertis blinks. He sees that you're looking his way, then looks behind him to see what you're staring at. What happened to you when I asked about the voices in your head? You never asked about voices in my head, Ertis says, rolling his eyes. I would have remembered a crazy question like that. I've never heard the name Ertis before. What does it mean? Names mean things? He says, gaping. I thought they were just there to put words on faces. He frowns. It should mean fast, or possibly handsome, but I really have no idea. Do you know what your name means? He says, turning to your other companions. Listener, Rin says. It's kind of funny how things turn out. I hope mine doesn't mean listener, too, he says, looking even more worried. I'm not very good at it. Hold on, he says, ripping a much-folded page from his doublet. This sounds like an exciting quest to set off on someday. He writes furiously, tongue peeking from between his teeth. Discover secret meaning of name. Done! He tucks the page back into his doublet, grinning. Where do you come from? I came out of the west, Ertis declares, his glow intensifying, traveling day and night to escape the hired killers hounded by every step. That's not what I meant. Where did you come from originally? From the storms of the south. At first I think I was only an outline in the clouds of dust. But then, Ertis leans forward, palms spread, eyes wide. I emerged, swords in every hand, cape swirling. You should have been there. I don't think you're understanding. Where were you born? That's a strange question, he says, his glow dimming. Babies aren't interesting. Then he brightens. Literally, of course. You're asking when I realized I was a hero. I'll play along. Yes, that's what I'm asking. He frowns, cocking his head. I don't remember. Maybe I'm supposed to tell you I've always been one. He looks up, nodding. I've always been a hero. What is that glow surrounding you? Glow? He repeats, puzzled. Okay. This is going nowhere. We'll talk to him again later.
Trust and honesty are our bonds. Trust and honesty are our bonds.
I'm ready. On it. Yes. Fine.
All right, Rin, you can do this.
A thug, huh? This dome is our turret now. The Memavira claims salvage rights. I wouldn't go inside, friend. We've got orders to keep the rabble out. Okay. See, that's going to be a problem. Alright, well, let me go to the Lazaret first.
All right.
This metal door is thick, heavy, and unmarked by time. Double rows of circular bumps run horizontally and vertically across its surface. As you approach the door, one of the bumps suddenly slides open, revealing a circular aperture. A few tiny, waving strands of synth emerge from the hole. The waving strands whip out, wrapping themselves around the eye. For a moment, the eye comes to light, buzzing and whispering, getting warmer in your hand. The synth fibers make soft, fluttery sounds in return. After a moment, they withdraw. The door slides open, and you step into the chamber beyond. The corpses of Murdens, hunched, bird-like abhumans, litter the floor. Their wounds are fresh, left by blade and beam. The air smells of rust and blood. Koro awaits you on the other end of the room with a hireling. He's clutching his bandaged side with a shaking hand. Even now, he manages a cocky grin. Took you long enough, he says. And Cal, he says to your companion, his grin half a grimace. I was hoping you'd make your appearance earlier. What kept you? Following our falling star around the city? He sighs. What could have possibly been more important than lending an old friend a hand? In your case, Callister says, practically everything, I'm afraid. With a faint chuckle, Koro turns back to you. We made a slight miscalculation in assuming the Murdens here were the architects of Salameri's troubles. He coughs and continues. After we punished them for trespassing, we descended to the next level to look for stragglers. But instead, we found what drove the Murdens up here. Heavily armed and hostile drones. His hand tightens on his side. As you can see, we had a rough time of it. We left 2 dead down there. His face is solemn. I should have been more careful. Can I help with those wounds? These, he says, eyebrows climbing in surprise. They're nothing I can't treat myself. Now, if you still intend on reclaiming this place for Salameri, the drones are still down there. I believe they're infecting the systems with their minds, and they will defend their territory without mercy. Believe me. He turns his attention back to his wounds. Good luck. Don't know how Koro got out of there alive. I was way ahead of him.
I'm ready.
This Merton has been dead for at least a day or two. The lower portion of its body is missing, and its midsection has been torn open to get at the viscera inside. Burn marks speckled the creature's foul, leathery robes. Lifting these carefully aside, you see the unhealed wounds beneath. The Merton was probably killed by beam weapons, and none of the other Mertons were carrying any. This does not account for the other damage to the corpse. Flesh was torn from the creature in long strips, and since the Merton was trapped in this antechamber with its fellows, you can guess what happens next. They ate it? Ew.
I'm ready.
Oh, more
Yes. Now.
And some shins and gravity bomb. Nice. Ooh, I'm fully dominant in gold now. Alright. Let's give this to red. She has both my bombs now. It's just 13 experience away. I really want her to go up a level. If for no other reason to get more hit points. Okay. Oh, more loot.
Of course.
Looks like nowhere to go but down. The chrome pillar descends as you approach, exposing a loft shaft ringed with snaking cables. Dim light filters up from below. You are not welcome here. And here, a construct floats up to bar your path. Blood speckles its ridged surface. Halt, flesh walker, it bellows. Quake in the boundless shadows of peerless, immortal intelligence of a lost age. Cower before me, and you may be spared. You give the construct a deep, noble bow. Never bow to a construct. It gives them ideas. Even the construct seems somewhat taken aback by your show of respect, but it recovers quickly. Enough of these pleasantries. Leave, or my drones and I will smash your bones and burn smoking holes in your fatty innards. What did you call me? Fleshwalker, it says, shuddering. You are made of decaying meat and hardened calcium. You squish and click when you move. It is disgusting. Who are you again? The construct vibrates with frustration. Can that crumpled wad of meat in your head hold no more than a few memories at a time? I am peerless, a limitless intelligence that spans the infinite valley of time itself. I've forgotten your name again. The construct growls but does not respond. You mentioned the other drones. What can you tell me about them? They are my hands, the floating orb says smugly. Extensions of my indestructible will, reflections of my brilliance. So the drones are copies of me. Not exact copies, Peerless says. Perfection cannot be so easily replicated. But you are essentially correct, Fleshwalker. What are you doing down here? Great work, worthy of an immortal being, it says. And even that is more than you deserve to know. Can you tell me anything else about what you're doing down here? No, the construct snaps. It is beyond your meat-bound understanding. Okay, I don't really want to fight these drones right now. Maybe there's a way around this. For now, I think I'm just gonna leave, Or even if I do have to fight them, I might want to go and get some armor or some more items before I begin battle. So for now, I'm just going to leave. Excellent. Do not return. We are busy
I'll
here.
remember that. All right.
Okay. So, I'm probably going to want to talk to some people and try to. Maybe somebody will have some ideas on how to deal with the drones that doesn't involve me smashing them. If I do got to go back and smash them, at the very least I should get myself a weapon, although I can throw esoteries at it, I suppose. For now, I guess we're going to leave this place. So, we'll leave out here, and then we'll wander back into Sagas Cliffs and talk to some people, namely Salamari and some other people that might have some ideas on what to do about the drones.